Okay, we will give a couple more minutes for people to join. I'm going to get my screen sharing. Oh, all right. Did not go to the right place. Too many windows open. It's terrible. All right, there we go. Okay. I feel like my coat is one of the puffer coats. It's a little noisy, so I apologize if you hear that shaking in the background. Also, my water bottle, the metal canteen style, love it, but like so loud and noisy. All right, we are gonna get rolling. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here and for signing up for the holiday food fight and the battle in your mind, body, and spirit. Yes. So this is for women, duh, who love God and are ready to feel radiant and strong and free. Yes, I know that's you because who does not want to feel that way? So, hello, my name's Lindsay Schilaty. I'm a feminine fat loss and health expert, and I am here to help you reach your goals in every way possible. I want you to feel and look your best. And one of the things I know that we often struggle with is emotional eating. How do I control myself when it is late at night? It's after dinner, I've already eaten, and I just want to like be Garfield and shove food in my face. Okay. So you can see some of my certifications there on the side. No worries about me being able to help you. So, quick question to start. You don't have to, you can interact or not, up to you. How many times have you said to yourself that you're going to start over on Monday? I know I have said that innumerable times, like embarrassingly a high number of times. And it's actually something that we joke about in my family too. And maybe not joke, but like one of my brothers is like, "Bah, I'm starting tomorrow, starting Monday." So it's not just you. This is a common theme. We think, well, we're going to start over Monday. But here's the truth. Like the emotional eating that we're struggling with, it's not a lack of willpower. That's not the problem. We are plenty strong and we have plenty of resolve to do things that we want to do. And the holidays aren't the problem either. It's much deeper than that. So we're going to start by building a little bit of knowledge about what the heck is going on with emotional eating, food cravings, that sort of thing. So what is emotional eating? We have emotional triggers. It could be all of these things, it could be some of them. You might have different ones. Common ones are stress, shame, boredom, hormonal shifts. Those are all things that can cause emotional eatings or triggers. And we typically lead and lean towards them for short-term comfort, but it can end up leading to long-term sabotage. Okay. We feel good in the moment, but then after we're done, like, oh, maybe I don't feel so good. Oh, I shouldn't have eaten that. Oh, my stomach hurts. Whatever the case may be. Okay. Um, and when this is going on in our body, our cortisol and blood sugar are staying high or swinging, and that can usually be one of the things that physiologically is causing a craving. Another thing that can cause a craving is a feeling for some dopamine. Maybe you are going through an awful time in your life where you are just feeling like down, nothing is working out for you, and nothing feels good. And so your body is craving dopamine, and that can come from food. Dopamine, food can make us feel better. And so we're reaching for something to fix a physiological problem. So, also, lack of sleep can impact cravings. We're going to talk more about that. So, if you're not sleeping regularly or if you're having trouble sleeping, I have a free nightly sleep guide that can help you get back on track. So, what is food noise? Well, food noise is not classically a scientific term yet, but I think we're pretty familiar with it. It's when we have this thought and excitement or focus on food, and like that's what we're thinking about. That is not, I've not dealt with that all the time. I have had times in my life where food noise has been out of control. Um, and for me, it is like, oh, I'm at work or I'm out and about and I'm thinking about what is at home that I could go home and eat. And I'm like, no, I shouldn't go eat it. So it can present a little bit differently for different people, but that's how I identify with that. So food noise is food cue reactivity. That is sounds like mumbo jumbo, but it's not. There's intrusive thoughts. So you're thinking about food all the time. You can't stop thinking about it. It can be related to the constructs of like, ooh, I'm really craving this. Ooh, I really want to eat this. And also rumination. So that constant repetitive thinking about something. So food cue reactivity is also, hey, when we have food around us and I see it, does that mean I have to eat it? Or can it be around me and not bother me? Okay. And then there's this other part of it that involves hedonic hunger. And that's kind of a weird word, but hedonic hunger is the difference between wanting food versus needing it. So hedonic hunger is I really want it. I'm not physiologically hungry. So my body is not craving food or my stomach's not rumbling because I'm hungry. I just think that I am. Okay. So the more we have that, the more that we have this psychological hunger, the more likely we are to have some out of control eating over time. So the more we kind of play into that, the more it can be there, which is, kind of a bummer. But we're going to get into some more things where we're going to learn a little bit about our attention and our focus. And so it makes sense if we're always thinking about food or a lot, like, yeah, we're probably going to make ourselves hungry or want to be eating more over time. Okay, so what can we do to turn down the food noise? There's a couple things that we can do, and feel free to take screenshots if you want. The first one is to train our attention away from the cues or to train our attention away from the food. So there's this the structure, this idea called episodic future thinking or EFT. And there's another EFT you might know called emotional freedom technique, which is a tapping, and that's another wonderful resource. But we're not going to talk about that today. So this EFT is the ability to imagine or mentally simulate a specific event or future event in your life. So we are pre-planning and pre-thinking about, oh my gosh, I have this goal I want to reach, and I'm going to focus on that. So here's how you might be able to use it. So we can use some guided imagery, or you can have a mental picture or kind of movie playing in your mind of what it's going to look like when you reach your goal. So you can think about that, your future self, your future goal for about a minute or just a little bit before your meals, and thinking about the type of choices that the future you would make in order to get to where you want to go. So the more we train our brain and thinking about what we want and feeling the event of the future now, the easier our brain, not maybe not the easier isn't the right word, the better our brain will be at helping us go and get that thing, helping us go and make the decisions that are going to align with where we want to go. So super helpful. And then also, this might be a big duh, um, putting tempting food out of sight, or even better, getting it out of there. So we don't have it around and it's not a temptation that's easily accessible to us. Okay. So the EFT, episodic future thinking, is one great way that we can turn down food noise. Oh, did I just? Okay. So next, number two, we can pre-commit or make a decision ahead of time about the behaviors that you want to do so that your feelings don't come in and like blow everything up. The last couple months of my life have been particularly stressful. and I have participated in some not great behavior because of the stress. It happens, right? So the more we can make a plan ahead of time, the better that we're going to do. So, one really great suggestion is having an if then plan. So, you might remember back to high school biology when you were practicing writing or learning the scientific method and if then statements. So, that's what we want to do. So, here's an example of one. If I have eaten my meal and I still feel hungry 20 minutes later, then I'll drink 20 ounces of water. I'll wait another 30 minutes. And if I'm still hungry, then I'll go ahead and eat my next planned Greek yogurt bowl. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I would have eaten a meal and then, oh gosh, like an hour later, I'm like, ah, I'm really hungry. I'm like, no, 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 too soon to eat, too soon, wait. And then this often happened at school, and there were Costco bags of candy all over the place. So I would then start eating candy instead of eating a meal. Not great. So instead of eating candy when you're like, oh, it's too soon to eat, I should wait another hour or two, go ahead and eat your next meal instead of uh, eating some food that you know is maybe not going to be the most nutritious or filling or emotionally fulfilling for you. Okay. And this is really helpful. The pre planning is really helpful in reducing problem eating. And it's even better for adding healthy options. So if you're someone who is already eating pretty well, the if then plan is going to be really great for adding in some more healthy options, which is amazing. So, number three of how we can turn down the food noise is to retrain our craving response. So, fighting it and like white knuckling, holding on for dear life, that is never going to be super positive or beneficial to us as a whole human. Okay. And I care about you as a whole human. So, we want to be thinking about some acceptance and mindfulness based skills that can help reduce this. Okay. So, one great strategy is an urge surf or urge surfing. So if you feel an urge coming on or a craving coming on, and you're like, gosh, oh gosh, I just really want that thing, you are going to feel it. Maybe you name it a little bit, like, oh, yep, I really want to eat this right now. I know I really do, and maybe I'm just gonna wait and I'm gonna hang out, and hopefully, and it should, that craving will start to subside, and you ride the wave up of the urge and you ride the wave down. Okay. And that is can be really helpful. Acknowledging it, I see it, and the reshape it part of it and not fighting it is, hey, I have a craving. That's cool. Did something else go on? Or maybe the craving is an indication that um, I've been a little stressed, or maybe this craving is an indication that I didn't drink enough water today. You know your body best, and you're going to know, hey, what are some of these common habits and patterns that I find myself getting into? And the other part of that is values focused. And if you're anything like me, you can have your why and like be, yes, I love it, be really committed to it. And then, like in the moment, you're just like, throw it out the window, like, get out of here. It doesn't matter. I want to eat the cookie. So for some people, like going back and refocusing on values can be absolutely amazing, which is awesome. For me, that didn't work very well. All right. So the next thing that I have listed on here is cue exposure. This is getting more into like therapy things, and I'm not a therapist, but this is an idea you could try if you wanted. Exposure therapy is definitely a strategy that can work for um, different phobias or things like that. So, not that we're afraid of food. But cue exposure would be, hey, I'm going to be around the food for a little bit and not eat it, and then I'm going to get the heck out of there. So we can practice some gradual exposure around triggering foods, and the more we do, the easier it gets to say no to. Okay. And that's really kind of true in life. Anytime we do something new, it feels really hard at first. Oh, I don't know if I can do this. Oh, this is so hard. But the more we do something, the easier it gets. Not that the thing has changed, but our ability to to resist or to do better or to make a better choice, that has improved and we have improved ourselves, which is really cool. So if that's something you're into, like you could try some of that Q exposure. If not, no worries. Oh, I skipped making this slide a little bit larger. Sorry for the smaller font. The next thing we can do to help turn down food noise is to adjust physiology so that our noise floor is lower. So basically, like how can we prep our body to be less likely to succumb to some stress or stress eating or emotional eating? Okay. A big one is sleeping at night. This matters hugely because it is a reset for all of our hormones and our hormonal rhythm. And we have two hormones that are greatly impact our hunger and fullness signals. So ghrelin and leptin. Okay. So leptin is, ooh, hey, I'm full. I don't need any more. Uh, and ghrelin is like, oh, I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to eat. And these two work together. Okay. So if we're not sleeping enough, ghrelin increases and is like, oh, hey, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. You should feed me. And leptin, our ability to feel full, is like burr, 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 going down. So you may notice, or if you think back and review some times when you've maybe kind of binged out, that you didn't have a lot of sleep the night before. And if you are stacking short nights of sleep back to back, then this can really get out of whack. And we find that our ability to stay on plan or eat what we would like to be eating that is on plan is a little bit harder. And there's that physiological reason. So this raises our hunger, and even one poor night's sleep can impact this. Another really great thing to do is to make sure that we're eating protein at every meal. I know that some people think they're eating protein, but they're really not. So, um, a mentor that I learned from would say that the best protein sources come from an animal that had a soul and a face, and those are the best protein sources to get after. Um, protein protein powders, awesome, but not technically real food. Like it's coming from milk and whey usually. But protein with that had a soul and a face is your best bet. And then a strategic exercise. So sometimes we forget, maybe, that exercise can really make us hungry. Why? We've just expended a lot of energy. Our body is like, whoa, hey, I need some energy to fill up the sources I just depleted. So let's get eating. So if you are doing short aerobic exercises, oh, I think I typed that wrong. No, that's right. Okay. Short aerobic exercise, like, hey, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go. Walking is a great exercise. Walking does not increase our hunger. Like, we could go walk and walk and walk, and it doesn't really affect our hunger cues. But if we are going to be doing resistance training or long endurance runs, if you're someone who is big time into like, you know, five 5 miles or more running, like running really makes you hungry. So if you're doing resistance training or endurance training, those things increase our hunger. And so it would be great to time that after you're done with your workout, you come home and eat. And oftentimes, eating a larger amount of carbs after a workout can be really helpful and help subside some of those extra hunger cravings that may come after that. So, we're going to talk about a plan to help us get through not only the holidays, but like in general, how do we manage all of this? So, the title of this is The Holiday Food Fight, and we're surrounded by so many options during the holidays. We have parties, we have different schedules, we have family events, and we're not in a regular routine. And so these things are going to not only kind of ground us in a routine, but it's also going to help us be able to set ourselves up for success and do a little bit of mental retraining that is going to be super helpful. So, here's what we have coming up. So, we're going to look at number one, the spiritual foundation, your core identity. So, I love this. Um, a scripture from the Bible, know ye not that ye are the temple of God and that the temple of God dwelleth in you. Like our bodies are a gift from God, literally. And so when we have cravings, we need to remember that that's not us. We don't need to identify as someone who is going to cheat on a meal or oh my gosh, I suck because I can't stay on plan. Like we don't need to identify negatively with anything around food because we're a daughter of God. Our body is a gift and it's amazing. So that's where we want to focus. Like, what is the truth around our identity? And you may know Bob Proctor. He was a big, um, I want to self-help. Like that's not the best way to describe him. But he has so many amazing teachings and philosophies. And similar, this would be similar to what he would say. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. And so, with that in mind, I want you to start thinking about who you want to become. What is the goal you want to have? What do you want to reach? And to picture you having already achieved that. Okay. So the idea you don't get what you want, you get what you are is that, all right, well, I may want this goal and it's there and I know it's there and that's what I really want. But we need to start identifying with, hey, who is that future version of me? How did she get there? And what can I do to become her now? Okay, so living in alignment with who we want to become. So the truth is, our physique goals, our weight goals, how we look, it's not vanity. It is actually stewardship over the body that God has given us. So, our fitness, discipline, um, really trying to be strong against emotional eating, that's not about deprivation or being strict or not having fun. A lot of this we could frame as hey, I'm trying to care for my body because it is a gift from God and it is one way that I can show dedication to Him. Okay. Um, and that everything we do can be in an effort to be healthy or manage our weight, can be part of our worship and how we show honor and respect to Him. So here's a wonderful thought to keep in your mind as we think about, like, hey, what is my identity here? That I'm a daughter of God. You can interchange some of these if you want. But if you're here for health and fitness, like, heck yes, you're an athlete. And guess what? You're a champion. You're a champion already becoming who I'm meant to be. So, my dad, most of you probably do not know my dad, but he has a couple sayings and he loves doing kind of motivational speeches. He has a saying called play like a champion today. Today, not tomorrow. TNT. And so we get to be who we are now. And sometimes we get caught up in life and it just doesn't feel like we can. But the truth is, we're a daughter of God and we can do anything with his help. So when you're feeling stuck or struggling, I encourage you to remember that. All right, number two on that big list of this beautiful plan to help us overcome emotional eating, especially over the holidays, is to reframe the urges. All right, so I'm picturing, um, I by day I'm a teacher. Okay, it's winter break, home from school. People start bringing boxes or plates of cookies over because they love to do that, and we love to give food at the holidays. And oh my gosh, I know I shouldn't eat it. Well, I'll just leave it out and I'll like put it in the freezer and give it to someone else. Okay, or take it to a party so I can get rid of it there. All right, and then as you know it's there, you see it, you decide, oh, maybe I really want that. Oh, and you feel that urge or craving hit. So here's what we can do when you feel that craving hit. You can reframe the trigger, which can be hard in the moment to do. So instead of, oh, I really want that cookie or that fudge on that plate, gosh darn it, I really want to eat that. You can think about, hey, this craving is not my enemy, because oftentimes we feel like we're the bad guy if we uh, fall to the urge or if we even have that craving. but it's an invitation to lean on Jesus, right? It's an invitation for us to say, hey, I need help. This is really hard. I'm feeling some struggle here. Heavenly Father, Jesus, help me get through this. Okay. And we're going to learn some other things to do with that. Okay. So when that urge hits, not only are we going to say, hey, I need help, we're going to shift the story. So maybe it's not about missing out on food. It's about gaining the crown or gaining your goal or reaching your goal weight. It's generally not a food problem that we have. We have trained ourselves over the years that when we have a craving or an urge, like, okay, I might say no for a minute and then I'm just going to go grab it because it's there. Okay. So that's a paradigm problem. That's a story problem that we have. So every time that we work to shift, that's a big typo. Sorry about that. Every time we work to shift the thought, you weaken the old program. Okay. So that program work that we do is in our mind and retraining our mind is a big deal. And so we want to start training ourselves that when we are working or when we're feeling that craving, okay, I've trained myself in the past that when I feel that, I'm going to give in. But guess what? I am working on training myself now that when I feel that craving or that urge, or there's all that holiday food around, I'm going to say no. Or I'm going to have one and walk away. Or I'm going to make sure that I have a family member or friend around who's going to help keep me honest and like slap my hand if needed. Okay. I've actually asked my brother to do that before, and my boyfriend, you're gonna eat that. What are you doing? Like, fine. Okay. So it's like if we know some of our past behavior, we can start shifting the story. We can start making choices that are going to help us through. And then we can claim our new identity, right? Because this doesn't just happen like learning about this today, trying to implement it today doesn't mean that you're automatically done, fixed. My mindset is changed forever and always. We want to claim the identity that I can be an overcomer through Christ. And I can choose obedience over impulse, or I can choose my goal and my big desire of health over this impulse. Because I don't know about you. If I have one cookie, it will lead to four or five or six or the whole plate. Okay. So for me, I know that it's easier if I just say no and don't have any. So our third strategy step are these are going to be practical strategies for body transformation, which is what most of us are looking for. Okay. So we're going to go through each of these in a little bit more detail, but we're going to talk about front loading protein, structured meals, volume veggies, hydration, sleep and recovery, and then tracking our emotional patterns. So this is not going to be a shocker for most of you. Front loading protein is going to be super helpful, and there's a couple reasons why. Um, Protein, when we eat at least 25 grams of protein, it helps stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So that means our muscles get the signal that, hey, you can go to work and build a little bit. Is it the same effect as if you're going and lifting weights? No, but it is still a physiological effect when we eat 25 to 30 grams of protein or more, that we're going to be able to maintain healthy muscle, even if we're not out lifting weights. We're going to be able to maintain a lot more than if we didn't eat the protein. Okay. We want to spread that protein and high quality protein. So I'm going to say it again, protein that came from a source with a soul and a face, 3 to 4 meals a day. Okay. It increases our satiety or our sense of hunger. So it keeps us feeling fuller longer. It takes a lot of energy to digest protein, which is why that happens. So protein takes longer, needs more things in our digestive system to get fully digested and absorbed. That's why it is able to increase our satiety feelings. And protein is super great at helping maintain and stabilizing our blood sugar. Okay. Blood sugar is an important factor in a couple things. It can note like our blood sugar can rise and fall based on food, stress. If we struggle or if we have diabetes, that could be influencing blood sugar as well. And when we have chronically elevated blood sugar um, over a certain number, that can lead towards diabetes or insulin resistance. So, being able to stabilize our blood sugar is like a really huge, important marker of health. So, having structured meals, we want to be eating probably 3 or 4 times a day. So that's going to be eating every 4-ish hours. Okay. Some people can even stretch that to 5 hours, which is awesome. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to be grazing or snacking. So, what grazing or snacking does is it impacts our digestive system. So, there's something called the MMC. um, oh my gosh, now I'm going to forget the motility motor complex. Thank you, brain. And that is when we eat, food goes into our stomach, it gets churned up into the chyme, and then it goes into our intestines and then goes through the absorption process there. Uh, when we are continually eating and snacking, it messes up a regular signal and all the signaling of the hormones that help with our hunger and fullness. It starts to mess that up. So, uh, really, we want to be at least 3 hours between when we ate last to when we start eating again. And if we can stretch that out a little bit more, cool. But that helps with maintaining proper hormone signaling for our hunger and also the physical movement of food through our digestive system. So this can help to eat at planned times. And we know during holidays and running around and doing all sorts of things that that doesn't always land right all the time. But planned meals really help with a regular rhythm to our digestive system and our body. The more that we can do things in cycle or in consistent patterns, the more our body can knows what's coming and it can adapt and respond in a positive way. And then, as I mentioned, this helps keep that ghrelin and leptin signaling more stable. So um, we're not going to feel, or we should have less urges to eat or feel like we have these emotional eating things picking at us because if we're eating at regular times, our leptin and ghrelin can be in nice uh, concert and cycle with each other. All right. Volume veggies. This is not a new trick. this is this is an old trick, but works. So eating vegetables that are low on the glycemic index. So green veggies, root vegetables, or things that grow on the ground are going to be a little bit higher. So we're looking for leafy greens, cucumbers, zucchini, yellow squash, things that are a little bit lower on the glycemic index. Amazing. And this helps create fullness. We get to eat a lot because I don't know about you, I love eating. And if I can eat a lot, it feels good. Okay. Also, when we're eating vegetables, we're going to get a bigger array of micronutrients, which is going to be beneficial for our overall health. Hooray. All right. And then hydration. So, our hydration first strategy. Here's why this is important. In the morning, we want to try to drink 16 ounces of water with salt or electrolytes first thing. Check it down. Okay. Some people call this organ bathing. It can be another signal of like, hey, body, wake up. We're going to get running and going. Okay. So it's a good filter. Cleaning can help move toxins through your body as your body was working through the night to filter and detox whatever you came in contact with or ate during the day, the previous day. Okay. So drink. Then we want to drink 8 to 12 ounces of water or maybe herbal tea or something before any food decision. So if you are sooner than that 3 hour window and you're like, gosh, I'm hungry. Okay, drink some water, drink some of the 0 calorie sparkling waters like LaCroix or whatever. Drink that and then wait. See how you feel after you drink it. So, here's some fun facts about stomach acid. Stomach acid is hugely important for the proper digestion of our food and really our immune system. Okay. So when we're thinking about when we are drinking water, we want to stop drinking water about 15-20 minutes before we eat. Okay. That's going to allow the liquid to kind of get through our stomach and allow our stomach acid to be at full capacity before we eat. Then we're going to eat our food, preferably not drinking during our meal. And then on the back end, after we've finished eating, we want to wait another 20 to 30 minutes before we drink water or liquid again. Okay. And that the reason why is it's preserving our stomach acid, meaning we're going to keep a high concentration of stomach acid so it can do a great job of breaking down that food. If we have low stomach acid or we're chugging a bunch of water with our meals, what that does is essentially dilute the acid and then it can't break down our food as well. And then when our food passes into our intestines, it can't be absorbed or assimilated as well. And that can start to cause issues with our immune system. All right, sleep and recovery. Yes, you know it's important. Yes, you know about how many hours of sleep a night you should get. But for good measure, I'll tell you again. We're aiming for 7 to 9 hours of sleep, whatever kind of that magic number is that you feel good, you feel rested. Okay. And then sleep and recovery helps reduce self-driven craving. So cortisol is another hormone. You probably have heard it associated with stress. Cortisol is meant to rise, peak in the morning as we are waking, and then start to drop through the day. And it should be lowest as we are going to sleep at night. Okay. So, cortisol cravings is a response when we have high stress. Cortisol can signal hunger hormones because our stress response in part is to get moving and to get away from danger. So when we're stressed, some people don't eat, some people do. And that is the response of our body's natural stress response. Okay, cortisol, energy, I got to get going. I got to run away from that saber-toothed tiger. So I should eat so I have energy to do that. Okay. But when we're sleeping and we're getting cortisol in that appropriate rhythm where it peaks as we rise and then starts to go drop down during the day, awesome. The same sleep and wake time sets our body up for regular hormonal rhythm for all of our hormones. Okay. And the sunlight, sunrise, sunset, hugely important in anchoring in those hormonal rhythms. So when we wake up and get that morning sunlight, it starts a cascade of lots of hormones to start processes in our body. So super important. And then this is a note on recovery. You don't work yourself to death for health. Okay. It doesn't work that way. Working ourselves to the bone does not make us healthy. Last year, just about a year ago, oh my gosh, about a year and a week, I did my first bodybuilding competition. And I did it because I wanted to lose weight and keep weight off and like get back in a great habit of exercise and all of that. And at the end, I was dragging hard and I felt like I was working myself to death to look good on stage. Okay. So that's not the picture of health. When you see someone in a bodybuilding show, that's not a picture of health. That is a place you stay for a very short amount of time. So I want you to keep in mind you don't work yourself to death for health. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about, no, we're not doing that. I'll share that right now. Um, you are going to, sorry, my brain lost its train of thought. You are going to keep your workouts in an appropriate amount of time. What does that mean? Like, I work out one day, I take a day off, or I work out 2 days, I take a day off. That is a recovery pattern. Maybe you work out 3 days, take a day off, work out two, take a day off. Okay. It's not go days a week. And it is definitely not working out 7 days a week. Your body needs time to recover, especially as we are in midlife. It is even more important to prioritize recovery. Work hard during your workout and rest hard on the days you're not. So, emotional eating patterns, tracking those patterns. So, say yes. Start, not say yes. Start paying attention to how you feel. Sometimes, if we have a habit of emotional eating, we don't want to acknowledge how we're feeling because we're eating those feelings and shoving them down. Okay. Did that for years. So we want to start paying attention to how am I actually feeling and what's going on around this that might be making me not feel okay. So what times do you feel this happen? Are there certain places, are there people, other triggers that you notice that can influence your stress or desire to want to eat to deal with your emotions? Okay. And planning ahead is really the best defense. I know the holidays and family gatherings for some can be really stressful and really emotional. And so I want to encourage you to think about what is going to be best for myself in this time. And maybe there's things you say no to, maybe there's some things you say yes to, but this is in an effort of planning ahead and knowing yourself, knowing what are the things that typically kind of set me off. Okay. Now I'm going to share another story. I love baking and making cookies. I don't do it because of how much I want to eat the stuff. Okay. Love cookie dough. And I will typically make a whole bunch of cookies for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I make all the cookie dough, and then my family, nieces and nephews will come over and we'll like make all the cookies and bake them. And I'm not going to do that this year. It's crushing to me. But I'm going to be working on a, a gut health and healing protocol where sugar is a hard no. And so planning ahead, although it makes me sad, I'm going to do what is going to be best for my health at this time, and I'm going to allow someone else to carry that tradition this year. I might be able to make the cookie dough and not be around when people are making it because inevitably rolling out sugar cookies, I want to eat the scrap dough, and I know that's not going to be that is good for me this year. And so there might be other ways that I participate, but think ahead. What is this going to look like for you and around the holidays with your family and friends and parties that you go to? Are there things that trigger some stress? So we have a bonus action here. This is a decision card. Again, guys, Todd Proctor is wonderful. So here's what I am going to encourage you to do. I don't know if it came from him, but I've heard Bob Proctor talk about goal cards forever. Um, you can get a 3x5 card or something else, piece of paper, put it in your phone, put it somewhere where you're going to see it, feel it, have it on you. You can write, I have decided. I have decided I am a whatever. What is your goal? Or I am doing something in the making. I do not give my power to cravings. So, what is it? What is the version of you that you are wanting to become? Is it a goal of getting healthy enough to have a surgery? Is it a goal to lose 20 pounds and fit back into your clothes? What is that goal that you have? It could be health related, it could be spiritually related, it doesn't matter what it's about. But what is it that you really want? You're going to write that down. I have decided, and for me, right now, honestly, this would be I have decided I follow my gut protocol and I have a healthy gut. I am a healthy person in the making and I do not give my power to cravings. Okay. When I originally was working on this, this is still a goal I have, but it is a step or two out from healing my gut. Would be I have decided I am I hold a pro card in a bodybuilding division. I'm a pro in the making. I do not give my power to cravings. Then you're going to carry it with you. You're going to look at it. You're going to look at it in the morning. You can look at it every time you eat, every time you go to the bathroom. What does this do? It feeds your subconscious mind with new images, and you are able to visualize choosing aligned actions to that goal. So, our subconscious mind is what's really running the program. Yes, we have our conscious thoughts and our logical thinking and reasoning, but it's our subconscious mind that is built on stories and experiences and things we've told ourselves that might not even be true that is actually running the show. So, every time we look at our card or our decision card, you are going to think about that day when you reach your goal. Is it going to feel like to be there? How excited are you going to be? Are you going to feel proud? Are you going to feel satisfied? Are you going to be celebrating? What do you feel like? Close your eyes, you can open your heart, and you can imagine that and see it and feel it. And then move to make the next best decision that is going to get you there. So, number four is our in the moment action plan. And this is very helpful. So, we can pause and pray. We can delay decision making. We can drink water. We can revisit our why. And we can choose a replacement action. So, let's talk about those in a little bit more detail. And this, I got to hurry. We want to get this done soon. So, pausing and praying. You can say something like this: Heavenly Father, I give this craving to you. Replace it with your strength. Whatever feels good to you, however you can ask for help in that moment. I want you to breathe, and I encourage you to expect a blessing and a positive result or help in the moment. Okay. So, this is all about expectation of being able to make it, being able to do it because you can, and you're not alone and you have support. In the moment, it feels like we can't or we're not. We're just overwhelmed with the feeling, or like that flip switches in our brain and it's just like Garfield. Okay. Um, but we want to pause and we want to ground in what is true, that we are not alone and that we have support. So we can delay decision making. So when the craving hits, wait 10 minutes. You can do that. Set a timer. Change your environment. Get up and move around in that time. Okay. Maybe you walk or stretch, go to a different room. You could call or text a friend. You could read scriptures, or if you have a memorized verse that you love, you could think about that. And you can think about your new identity. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later. Okay. So, those are all things that you can do to delay decision making to allow your body to recalibrate to what is true and accurate and not. This also helps us like ride the urge, surf the urge, right? All right. Next is drinking water. And duh, you've heard this before. Hydration often reduces perceived cravings. Yes, it does. Okay. We're usually not hungry an hour after we ate. We're usually thirsty. So get some tea, get a flavored zero sugar, zero calorie water option, sparkling ones. There's a lot of great ones. But drink and move. All right. Revisiting your why. Now, for some of you, this is going to be the best thing ever. If you're like me, maybe this doesn't always help. Okay. We're going to talk about some reasons why it does help, though. Okay. So, visualizing, you might visualize why you're doing this. It might be to fit into your clothes, seeing more muscle, seeing a number on the scale. You might feel the moment you're most excited about reaching in as much detail as possible. So if it is, oh my gosh, I'm looking down and I see that number on the scale and I did it. I can't believe it. I lost 30 pounds. I'm so proud of myself. What is that going to feel like? Joe Dispenza, who I love, he calls this a mind movie. When you put together in as much detail as possible and you visualize yourself there in it, not watching yourself, but you're seeing it first person like you are. What are you seeing, feeling, doing? How does it feel to have reached that moment? Jeff Buhner talks about creating it spiritually. That's another typo. Sorry. Jeff Buhner talks about creating it spiritually before it is created physically. So think about creating it in your mind. That is the spiritual creation of it. And the more we are in that spiritual creation, the easier it will be to come into our physical presence and our um, physical life here. Okay. So feel that peace, the joy, the accomplishment of knowing that you honored your temple with health, or honored your body with health. And then replacement action. So we've talked about a couple of these already, but you could journal, you could text a friend, you could walk, you could drink, right, water. You could prep your next meal. You could have a Jolly Rancher. You might have like a little thing that is like, okay, this is going to get me through. Jolly Ranchers are great because they're small, they're hard, and you're probably not going to chew them. And you can suck on that and get through the craving without a massive hit to your goals or macros. And then if we're putting it all together, here's what this could look like. So first thing, you can name it. This is not true hunger. This is food noise, or this is stress. I recognize that I'm stressed. Roll. You can pray. Heavenly Father, I give this craving to you. Please help me move through this. You can switch the vibration from the emotion. You can see the future you, and you can play that mind movie. You can feel your future self and her confidence now in this moment. You can execute your if then plan. So if hungry in an hour, eat, I drink some water. And then I'll wait a little bit more. And if I'm still hungry, rather than going and eating candy, I will eat my next planned meal. And then a gratitude and thank God for the strength that is already in me, already in you. Like we have it already and we can thank. Number 5 is our daily spiritual and physical resilience routine. That's a mouthful, but these things are not going to take long, and you don't have to start with all of them. You could pick one from each part of the day that you're like, yeah, I can do that. Okay. So it's going to start with in the morning a prayer of surrender and help. So, what is it that you know you need help with today? Or what is it that you're worried about? Excuse me, what is it that you're worried about that you know, man, if I just get some extra help today on this, I'm going to feel amazing. Ask for it, pray for it. If time allows, or maybe you do this a different time of the day, you could start with some scripture study or some sort of spiritual education. Okay, doesn't necessarily have to be scripture. My dad listens to, there's a Christian channel on cable, and there's lots of different preachers that they replay their sermons, and Joel Osteen is often on in the morning. Great stuff. And you could, for your study and spiritual education, you could focus on maybe looking at discipline, reading about stewardship or perseverance, and examples of how people from the scriptures did that. And then this is really fast, although it sounds long, a gratitude list. Write 3 things that you're grateful for your body and your health. During the day, daytime, we want those structured meals, right? We're going to plan out our meals when we're going to eat, and we plan ahead for success. That's just how it works. If we don't plan, we generally plan to fail, or we plan to do something half-heartedly. And I don't think you want to do that. I think you want to plan for success. This is a suggested time of 2 to 5 minutes. It does not have to be this long, but it'll be a huge reset if you do. 2 to 5 minutes of deep breathing or scripture or meditation during your breaks during the day, or you could intentionally take these breaks. So, whatever short time you have, you can slow down and breath, breathe. You can reconnect to your goal and your why. You can visualize the future you, and you can repeat your decision card. The more you are getting that into your mind, the more you are retraining your subconscious. And if your subconscious is saying, yeah, right, you're not going to do it, if it talks back to you and says you can't, you're going to say, maybe, but like, what if I did it? What if? So if you can't be in a place where you can 100% feel aligned to that, you're just going to say, man, what if I did this? What would that feel like? Wouldn't that be nice? And that is a way to get into it. And over time, you are going to connect to it so amazingly. Then in the evening, if you are like me and work out after work, You can do this whenever this one, post-training gratitude, a prayer for strength and recovery. You can do that whenever you are finished working out. Or whatever it is that you did that day to move your body. It could be, man, I'm so grateful that I was able to go on that walk today. The weather was beautiful. I felt so good, right? It could be, oh my gosh, I am so grateful that I was able to get to the gym and lift weights today. And Heavenly Father, please help my body be able to recover and build muscle through this workout. You can journal one victory. Here's the thing, guys. When we start looking at wins and start stacking them, we build momentum and we become unstoppable. It also helps us focus on things that are going right. It helps us crowd in the things that are right and crowd out the things that are not or not going well. Okay. So, journal one victory. Could be spiritual, could be physical. And then we're going to have a pre-bed wind down. So like get ready routine, getting ready for bed routine. Low light, yes. Turn them off if you can. Super fun if you do candles, not required. No phone for at least an hour before bed. Maybe you stretch, maybe you have some more prayer. But how are you getting into an evening routine of gratitude and gratefulness for what happened during the day? Again, you don't have to do all of these, you can pick one. And then last, we have guided journaling. So these are some reflection questions to ask yourself at the end of the day. Or maybe you do these in the morning and reflect on the previous day. So, how did I honor God with my body today? What situation tempted me toward emotional eating? And how did I respond? What scripture or truth can I cling to in my next moment of weakness? How does my discipline today move me closer to my physical goal and spiritual goal? Where can I invite the Lord into my training and nutrition and recovery tomorrow? If you sit with those and think about those, you're going to have some awesome reflection and you're going to notice some really fast changes. So, a bonus, you can have a personalized prayer. This is a suggestion to get your mind thinking about, hey, how might I pray and what might I pray about in regards to my health and my fitness? So it could be something like this. Father, I thank you for the gift of my body that is strong, capable, and designed for your glory. You have called me to discipline and perseverance, and I desire to honor you in every decision. Heavenly Father, in moments when emotional eating tempts me, help me remember and remind me that I'm not alone. Give me strength to walk away from what is temporary so I can run towards what is eternal. Help me steward my health and my talents so that when I reach my goal and I'm in your presence, I can say I gave my all for you. In Jesus' name, amen. Again, that is just a suggestion. You could choose to use that or not. But when we focus, where we put our focus is where our attention goes. And we train our brain what to focus in on and what to help us, what to help bring to us. So I would take a picture of this if you would like. This is going to help you create the vision of your future self. We've talked about that a little bit throughout today. And this is for you to really nail down and get clarity on what it is you want your future to look like. So, what do you most want to achieve? What is that? For me, I'll go through an example. What I really want to do um, in my physical fitness and that world, that part of my life, I really want to compete in another bodybuilding show and I want to win. I do. That's what I want to do. So now that I know that, we're going to keep going. What will it look like, feel like, and be like when you achieve that thing? So for me, getting on stage again and winning is I'm going to feel really proud. It's going to be really gratifying. And I know I will have learned more lessons about how to stay committed and to work hard. And it's going to feel awesome. It's going to be so exciting. Number three, what would future you do every day to get there? Now, this is some for something you might have, you might not know exactly what that answer is. I know for me, what would future me do every day to get there? Well, she's going to stay on plan. She's going to follow the direction of my coach and not make excuses and follow through. I would also give myself grace if there were moments or slip ups or unplanned things that I didn't plan for. But by and large, I'm going to stay on plan. Number four, who will be there with you? Oh my gosh, I'll have some family there. Hopefully I'll have my coach there. There'll be people there. Hopefully I'll know someone else there, but that's who I think will be there with me. And I think my mom would be there. Oh, I know she would be there. Um, what will you be wearing? For some, your goal might be getting back into clothes that you don't currently fit in but want to, right? And there's a goal to get back into something. For me, I'd be wearing my stage bikini all blinged out. Where will you be? Maybe there's some place you want to celebrate, right? So go through those and think about that and create as clear of picture and as much detail as possible about what you will be like and what you will do to get there. And then feel it. Feeling it is the essence of everything. So it's the feeling that draws the spiritual creation into the physical, right? So that feeling is of utmost importance. You can just write this down and write things down, but unless you sit there and you start to feel the emotion and what it will be like to be there, it's not going to work the same. So that wraps all of our content for today. Thank you so much. And I have something I'd like to offer. So we've come a long ways today. You've come a long ways today. If you've been watching and listening, you have probably acknowledged and seen patterns that have kept you stuck. Hopefully, you've learned tools to respond with truth and strategy in the moment of emotional eating, or as we think about the holidays that are coming up. And you've taken the first step to reset the way that you eat, think, and feel. That's huge. That's a huge takeaway. But here's what we know: information is not enough. Information does not lead to transformation. Implementation leads to transformation. So now it's time to go do the work and put this into motion. Okay. So if you're anything like me, you probably need some support. Maybe there's daily support. Maybe you need a real actual plan because you're just not sure where to start. Maybe you the community to be walking with you through this. Maybe you need some more mindset tools that last longer than a week or last longer than a day. So I would love to keep going together with you. So I created something for you if you are ready to stay on track through the holidays. We are hitting this just in time and we are going to be so proactive. So I'm going to be doing a holiday reset sprint. What the heck is that? It is a 4-week coaching experience to help you stop emotional eating, drop some inches. Yes, maybe lose some weight over the holidays. When has that ever happened? And go into the holidays feeling strong, lean, and free. So here's what you get. We're going to have weekly live training and group coaching with me. There's customizable food and movement plan for you. So if you're like, I don't know what to do, you'll know what to do. It'll be all laid out for you. Okay. There's going to be a daily mindset. There'll be daily mindset and faith-based tools to help you quiet cravings and get traction moving towards your goal. This is going to be, and you get full coaching from me to keep you locked in. Yes, locked in. Because here's what I know: we are stronger together. We're stronger with community, we're stronger with shared purpose. So close your eyes, Take a breath and imagine this. You are gliding through Thanksgiving, December parties, and Christmas without binging or guilt. You feel confident in your genes, proud of your discipline, and most importantly, you feel present with your people. You don't have to start over on January 1st because you started now. Take a deep breath and really imagine what that would feel like. Have you ever had a holiday season that looked like that? So, if you would love to join the sprint, and I would love to have you, we're going to start on November 22nd. So, that's in about a week and a half. It's a Saturday. We're going to wrap on December 20th, which is also a Saturday. So, you are going to have prime support during some of the most challenging weeks of the year. And this will be hugely, hugely impactful. Okay. Because you're not alone. We're going to be doing this together. So, for being live on the call today, you're going to get a 10% discount if you join. So, for the 4 weeks, it's going to be $3.99 or $3.59 with a discount code of Food Fight 10. Okay. You're going to get in your email um, a link for the playbook if you're here live, and you will get the checkout link for the sprint. Okay. So this will come in the replay email. So don't worry if you did not, you're like, where am I getting it? It's all going to come through email. Okay. Now, here's what I know. I'm going to stop sharing. Haha. All right. Here's what I know. I did a sprint program a little bit different to this over the summer, and ladies rocked it. They did so great. Um, we had good community support. We had women who were losing inches and pounds in a short amount of time. That focus was specifically on fat loss. This focus is not specifically fat loss, though you can have all those tools accessible to you if you want to do that during this 4 weeks as well. So I'll give you the sprint guidelines for fat loss, and I'm going to give you, we'll have lots of support over the emotional eating guidelines as well, so that you can be rock solid and be making the best choices for you. And instead of gaining 5 or 10 pounds over the holidays, you will have stayed the same or lost weight. And when does that happen? Really, when does that happen? And it's going to happen this year, and we're going to do it together. I am so grateful for your time and for being here with me. And I cannot wait to support you because this is going to be such an awesome experience. And if you just want some free resources, I have some awesome free guides. You can get them from my link in bio, goodlife.with.lindsay on Instagram. I have a fat burning meals guide. I have a nightly sleep reset guide. I have a GLP-1 guide. And I have how to beat belly fat and burnout guide. So there are 4 amazing resources that if you pick those up and just work on implementing 1 or 2 things during the next couple of weeks, like you're going to do so great. And the bottom line is, I'm here to help support you. And when you win, I win. And I want you to win because it feels so good to be successful. And I want to help you get there. So, again, thank you. You are going to hopefully have an awesome holiday season. And I cannot wait to be here to help and support you during the 4 week reset as well. All right. You got it. Let's win the holiday food fight. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.